Multiple people have come on my videos and said that if I like this, I would like if I like the underwater stuff here, I would love Subnautica.
Thermal protection falling.
This is a much bigger node. We ought to have plenty of dockside after this. Just think way back in prehistory, says Blitnock. Some person was the first one to light their farts on fire. How about, who was the first person to figure out which mushrooms were safe and which ones were deadly? Like, there's some scary stuff that was related to people being first. Oh, that's some sort of convection unit. Okay.
Technology recharge.
Also, who was like the first person to like drink? First person to figure out different things. Like you go to a plant and it's got nectar, and like who's the first person to try the nectar and to see if it's safe? It's terrifying stuff, man. So like I grew up on a dairy farm, and we used to drink raw milk like straight out of the bulk tank. The bulk tank is where basically you have at least I don't know what it's like these days, but when I was a kid, my parents had a dairy farm. We sold grade A milk, which is the highest quality grade of milk you can sell, and it's what goes into pasteurized milk for drinking. Grades B, C, D, so on and so forth. Those are used for like cheeses, cottage cheese, sour cream, stuff like that, because they're lesser quality. So we would drink it straight out of the tank, and the tank was just refrigerated. That was it. But it would come out of the cow, go through a paper filter, and then we would drink it out of there. And this was years ago. Now, obviously, when you're cleaning the cow's udder, you're cleaning the tits and everything else, you're using disinfectant, you're using all these things to clean the shit and piss and all the other gunk off there. But there's also, live bacteria and stuff. And no one ever told me any of that stuff. And it wasn't until I got to be an adult that I found out about, like, the dangers of drinking raw milk. I mean, obviously, there are aspects of it that are good for you, but there's also the risk of like hysteria and all these creepy, horrible diseases, illnesses that you can get from the bacteria from drinking raw milk. And it's like, who was the first person like back in the day to determine that this milk is okay to drink and this milk has gone off? Like, this is the milk that will kill you if you drink it. Like, who figured that out? Like, modern science is amazing. Like, if you think about stuff like that, it's pretty intense. First person who found fire, Man, this is a big node, man.
Technology recharge.
This is great. I won't need to come back for any for a while. That one copper node we got like a week ago lasted like 8 or 9 days, which was nice. But I finally ran out today. Starvation was likely behind a lot of the firsts. Probably, yeah. Ask Mikey, he'll eat anything. Yeah, the gameplay loop's the same as Minecraft. It's just the graphics, you know, it's got a lot more fidelity in what it's doing.
Technology recharge.
I have to credit my nephew for Minecraft because I never would have played it without him, and playing it with him has been the blessing because he's the one who knows everything. Like, he spends all his allowance money on like Minecraft books. He watches all sorts of Minecraft YouTube videos. It's like my brother and I will be playing with him, and we'll be like, "How do you do this?" And you know, 20 minutes later, he's given us a TED Talk lecture on how to do this thing in Minecraft. It's great. And he's like 8 years old. We haven't played in about 6 or 8 weeks because they were moving and stuff. But I've got a few TikTok shorts of him. I would ask him a random question and he just goes off for like 45 seconds about whatever it is, and you're just sitting there nodding your head, going, "This is TikTok gold right here, man." The 8-year-old super nerd who knows everything about Minecraft. He's been hitting me up on Discord the last few days too, trying to get me to come play World of Warcraft with him during the day. But it's like, buddy, I got other streams I do during the daytime. I can play with you. And I'm like, usually we play on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We play Minecraft on Friday nights. Usually we have right now we're working our way through the Dungeons and Dragons Minecraft DLC, which is really well done. I think we're up to episode 15 or 16 in that playthrough series, if I'm not mistaken. But we put everything on pause because they had to move, so. And then I've been playing Grounded with my wife, with my brother-in-law and his wife. My brother-in-law and his wife, sorry. My brother and his wife, my sister-in-law. Grounded's a lot of fun, for those of you who haven't tried it. It's, you know, same gameplay loop, but giant spiders, which are terrifying. Alright, I think we can get out of here now. James says I pasteurize milk for ice cream. Timothy says I grew up on raw milk too. Yeah, speaking of Blitnock says animals have to navigate safe and unsafe food too. That kind of knowledge has evolved with us. So we were just talking about this. My wife and I were talking about this, I think last night or the day before. So we were talking about when was the last time one of our cats, because our cats are all about, they're a little over 2 years old. But we were like the first year, all of them were coming home because they were mostly outdoor cats, but they were constantly like once a week, 1 or 2 of them would be coming home vomiting something up. And it's because they're out there trying things. They're like, what is this? I'm gonna eat this. Oh shit, that makes me throw up. I'm not gonna eat that again. Assuming they survive, right? Because there are some things they'll eat. And thankfully they haven't done that in a while, because after a year and a half of them going out and putting all the things in their mouth to try out what they were, they finally gave that up and only eat chicken and cat food. And lizards. They eat a lot of lizards where we live. Lizards and iguanas. First person to see an egg come out of a chicken's ass and thought, that'll make a tasty treat. For real, dude. Larry B says, how's it going? So you find a planet to build your base on? Yeah, it's the first base. I'm gonna, Beeblebum inspired me to, I want to go find an ice planet at some point once I finish up with that base. I love the idea of finding an oceanic ice planet to do something on now, but I'm not going to allow myself to get too sidetracked because we've got World of Warcraft's kicking off soon. Got the War Within coming, we got Star Wars Outlaws coming, Space Marine 2. Indiana Jones. I can't wait for Gamescom, guys. Gamescom is what, a week away? 10 days away, something like that. 2 weeks away. I can't remember. It's like the 20th or something. I have to go look at the dates. We're going to get a bunch of release dates for things like Dragon Age the Veilguard, Shattered Space DLC. Oh, vehicles. Supposedly Land Rovers are coming to Starfield this month in a free patch. As soon as they do, I'll definitely be patching up and jumping in to check those out, because I never explored planets in Starfield because I didn't want to run around with a jetpack, but now that they've added the Land Rovers, I'm totally going to go in. And I still need to do outpost building in that game. I've done 2 playthroughs, but I've never done the outpost building because I just like the story and the gunplay and the ship combat and everything else. But I would love to do the. I can't wait to see the Land Rovers. The screenshots that are going around Twitter right now and the video clips, they look really freaking.
Technology recharge.
Timothy Tempest has learned how to play this game from YouTube and a few websites. This one, it's been mostly been me learning how to play it, but also we've had such a good turnout for the streams and everything else that I've been just getting tons of tips from people in the videos and in the comments section later on. It's working really good. Register says it's interesting to see how much the game loop evolves over the course of a playthrough. Once you have money rolling and have a lot of upgrades, you hardly ever need to spend money. So speaking of which, this morning I went and spent 150 million on buying like 6 inventory slots for my ship, and like I spent like 15 million buying resources from the merchant on the space station. I was like, oh, you have 120 metal plates and all this cobalt and ionized cobalt, and I'm gonna buy all of it because that saves me so much time because I have a bunch of money right now. Although I did spend a good chunk of it this morning. Put a webcam on my cat's collar to see what it gets up to. We've talked about it, but the problem is there's too many places where the animals could get caught up and have it get caught in like a chain link fence or something, and so we've already had enough accidents. Chris, 3 days ago we started building chicken wire enclosures. I need to turn around. I just accidentally hit the wrong button. We're actually starting to build chicken wire enclosures and focus on some catio spaces, because we're just tired of we've had to spend too much money at the vet. So Larry B says, do you think Star Wars Outlaws will be PS4? No, it's only going to be next gen. It's going to be next gen only. Well, it's no different than the real world too, Lord. It's like as soon as you get wealthy enough, you can bypass stuff. Convenience is a real factor, man. Also, getting old is another factor. I don't know if I talked about this the other day or not, but we were discussing it with somebody. Chris and I have always, we like to walk. We walk everywhere. We don't have a vehicle. We don't need one. I haven't had a vehicle since 2007 was the last time I owned a vehicle. So we just walk everywhere, and I live in places where public transportation exists. However, like the nearest grocery store is about a 20-minute walk. And then we've always just, for the last, 2.5 years we've been here, we just walk to the grocery store and then we take our backpacks, we load up, and we come back. If it's really heavy, we'll get a taxi, come back in a taxi. And we were going the other day, and Chris literally said, we're bringing a taxi back. And I was like, well, we're only getting these things. She says, I don't care. My shoulders hurt. I don't want to walk home. And I was like, we're totally getting old enough now where it's like, yeah, I don't want to walk home with, 10 kilos of stuff in a backpack. Let's just take the taxi home. Just pay for convenience, man. All right. Return to the farmer. Lizards taste like chicken? They do. Yep. Confirm. Here's 50 frost crystals. I've now learned how to make a solar vine. So that's going to need another... I'm going to run out of space for these hydroponic bays. Have to go build myself a... Oh, why does that one want to jump over here? Is it not going to snap? Oh, 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 hang on. Well, the first two snap together. It doesn't want to let this one snap. Says I. Funky07 says, where's Lotro, bro? Lotro's on Monday nights, bro. Been talking about it for the last 3 days. Monday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central is the Lord of the Rings Online streams. Can I rotate this? It can only go one of two ways. How about over here? Taking up all the space in here. Now, does that automatically... Nope, I definitely need some more wiring. Man, hiding the wire is such a cool thing. Okay. Solar vine. Oh, I need a lot more frost crystals. Which I don't have any of right now. Boo! It's because I gave him all the NPC. Boo! McWhistle says you'll need 3 or 4 of the 4-slot trays for all the plants long term. Oh, I didn't know that, Hemulator. You could run a wire from any other powered thing, so I don't need to keep running wires back to the battery. I could just run it from the wired thing. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Alright, what other quests do we have for the moment? Some of these we're waiting on. We're waiting on that to get the Gravitino balls. I need to collect Viking daggers from the Viking traders at outposts. Are they at any... Is there an outpost on my planet? I wonder... And what's the icon for the outposts? Like, what is that? I have, like, a star icon. I have no idea what that is. There's also an unknown building over here. Because what does it say? It says at outposts. Oh, that's not it. That's one of these ones that'll prompt. What's that structure over there? I probably do. I probably just don't have it on me. I think it's in my storage container. It might be on me. But isn't this one right here? Isn't this a outpost maybe? I don't know what this is. About to find out. This is a camp. Camp Amorayas? That is a big ass something. Planetary Archive. I need to, okay, so I need to have everybody's saying this is a colossal archive, okay. And then everyone's saying I need an economy scanner to find a trading outpost, okay. So I won't find the daggers here is what we're getting at. What blueprints do you have? Nothing. You can find them from the pilots sometimes. Okay, let me go check the pilots. I'm giving away some of these gifts just so I have them. I think the pilots all might have just disappeared. Let's see. You're an enforcer. That's a big, blocky, ugly thing. Offer to trade. He has, yep, he has them. Well, we're gonna buy 2 of them, which I need for the quest.
Product received.
Thank you very much. Turn to the armorer. Those buildings are a mix of minor outposts, trading post, and space station. Armor was over here. I have not been idle in your absence, Interloper. I've crafted yet another upgrade module for your ship. Give me the daggers. Takes the daggers and plunges them into his own arm. Crazy man. Conflict scanner. An upgrade to the Starship's galactic sales sensors. This device allows the user to access conflict data in the galaxy map without having to put themselves in harm's way. Okay. He wants me to go defeat Sentinel forces. Cyclotron Ballista, an anti-electronic starship weapon. Fires plasmatic balls. Well, who doesn't like some plasmatic balls? Positron ejector. Infra knife accelerator. All sorts of new weapons for the ship. Very cool. Alright, log. I need to do the sentinels for that quest. I need to get Gravitino balls for the Overseer. Alright, cool. Well, I'm going to wrap up here, everybody, because Chris has lunch. It's probably cold by now, so I got to go eat. She brought home roasted chicken and veggies and stuff. Um, what is today? Today's Sunday, right? I might do a stream this afternoon. If I do, it'll be Lord of the Rings Online. It's going to depend on whether or not she wants to do Dexter tonight, if we're going to watch any shows. I don't know what she has going on this evening. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow at the same time as we always start, 11 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch, and we're going to be starting the expedition tomorrow. So we're going to dedicate the first few days of this week to doing that so that I can get it out of the way. Once I've done the expedition, we're then going to go back to base building, quests, etc., and all the other stuff because I've got so many things. I still haven't finished like the First Traveler, the Space Anomaly, the Atlas Path. I'd like to get those quests wrapped up before the World of Warcraft War Within DLC happens. And then we've still got to do freighters, derelict freighters. I want to hire more starships for my fleet. I have a million things I want to do. This is not going to be something we're finished with in the next 2 weeks. This will be something I'm going to be playing for the next few months at the very least, even though it will be in the background once we get into Star Wars Outlaws and everything else. But tune in tomorrow for more No Man's Sky, 11 a.m. Central Time, both places here and Twitch. And if you want to tune in tonight for Lord of the Rings Online, you can. If you're watching on Twitch right now, don't forget the day-to-day stuff happens over on YouTube. So all the 30-minute Let's Play episodes, game guides, movie reviews, and all that stuff's over there. Videos go out every hour from 6 a.m. Central until 10 p.m. Central as a general rule on all sorts of different topics and games and things. So hopefully we'll see you over on YouTube as well. Discord, Patreon, socials. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for the support. And we had some super chats and some Twitch primes today. So thank you so much for supporting everybody. It's how I get to do this for a full-time living. See you next time, folks.